Usually I talk about art-related topics, and this video is no different, but I want to start off with this one thing I noticed about the Olympics. How this year's Olympics had so many people that didn't win gold, but became much more famous than the ones that did. Like the two airsoft pistol shooters. Both of them won silver, yet they became far more popular than the ones that won gold. I'll bring it back to art in a second, but something that I wondered about but would never want to experience is what it would be like to be that well known. I would never want that. Imagine when you walk around, you'll constantly see people recognize you, yet to you, they're complete strangers. You don't know anything about them, yet they know where you live, what you did last night, where you're going today, how many kids you have, and they know all about all your most embarrassing moments. And perhaps they start to take videos of you without your permission or harassing you with rude comments just so that they could post it online and get comments and likes themselves. The Australian breakdancer Raygun comes to mind. I was watching the competition live on TV, and I definitely noticed how her skill level and style were not the same as the others. I had a good chuckle, I won't lie, watching her do her thing, but when I started to see it spread on the internet, it made me think about the fact that breakdancing in the Olympics was probably a huge deal for her and became one of her highest goals to achieve. And she achieved it all right, but I couldn't imagine that she envisioned it like this. Now, whether or not she deserves this, how do you feel about it? Some news outlets say that how she got in was legitimate, and any rumors saying otherwise is fake news. But the breakdancing community says that her qualifying for the Olympics with very little technical skills was shady at best. Many people in my profession, I'm talking about artists, and especially social media related artists, are actively trying to gain bigger and bigger followings with our art because many of us, and this is probably true to an extent, believe that with more followers comes more success. Better wages, better jobs, and a better financial situation. But most of us don't actually really think about how it'd be like to be famous. What would the downsides be? Because we as humans, I don't believe we're meant to have hundreds of thousands or millions of people looking at you all at once, following you, having opinions about you all at once, and talking about you all at once. I don't believe it's something that we are naturally built for. So if that does happen, that kind of attention can also bring a lot of mental health issues, even if most of the attention is positive. Many of us already experience those kinds of mental health issues just having a few hundred people follow us on social media. When I was little, just like many others, I got teased and picked on before. I can certainly remember how horrible the experiences were and how much I wish I could just fast forward life till the point where I graduate and I wouldn't have to see those horrible people again. But at least when I went home, whatever drama was happening was now over, more or less. There were no chat groups that continued on. There was no social media for people to continue the bullying. I was able to unplug, recover, feel safe in my home, and get ready for another day. You know, back a couple years ago as an experiment, I wanted to see what it'd be like to start all over from the beginning. And I made an artist account on social media and started posting art as a brand new kind of person. I can draw and paint pretty well, as many of you know, but I didn't get any comments. I would even go to other artists' accounts and try to interact and comment on their posts. I would even comment on my friends' posts, but without them knowing that it was me, and none of my friends would write back. It took me over a month to make one friend that would actually interact with me. It was like a ghost town. Or actually, it was like one of those movies where I'm a ghost and nobody can see me, but I can see everyone else. I was invisible. It wasn't a good feeling. Then one day I posted negatively on something I didn't agree on with the government, and then I got a bunch of people liking it and a bunch of people responding. It gave me an instant little dose of dopamine or something because I want to do it again. I want to write something snarky and join a second dog pile about something else I didn't really like. But Not necessarily because I was that upset about it, but more so because now I knew that jumping on a dog pile is a great way to get attention, engagement. When everybody is making fun of something or angry at something, whenever you join in, you tend to get engagement as well. I'm not saying that anybody that joins in is because they're craving engagement or that this is their method of getting attention. To join in on a dog pile and add some negativity wherever there's a lot of people angry. Some people maybe, but many people are truly passionate about the subject, whatever it is, and they're commenting because of that. But there's definitely a psychology behind jumping in on a trend, even if you're not too into it, because you know that you'll get attention. For me as an artist, I've definitely thought of drawing something or painting something that I wasn't really passionate about because everybody else was doing it and it was trending. And I knew that if I did the same, I can catch a lot of that wind and get some attention as well. But maybe because I'm older now or something, I don't really care about those kinds of things. But I definitely experienced it in the past, and I'm sure many others can relate. But when you think about the negative version of this, like how much art or memes that are being made to make fun of something or someone, for example, all the memes being made about Raygun, the Australian breakdancer, I can't help but to feel extremely bad for her. Some may argue that she should have known what she's getting into and that she didn't belong in that competition. But even if there's a bit of truth to that, there's that saying, let the punishment fit the crime. And I certainly don't believe that the crime of dancing the way that she did deserved that kind of reaction. I think people even started making up rumors that her husband was a part of the breakdancing committee and that they had influence over the judges, and that's how she got into the Olympics, which made a lot of people extremely upset. I don't know if this is true or not. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But if it is true, then that's just horrible to take away the opportunity from someone else. And if it isn't true, I could imagine why somebody would want to do that, to use the attention that Raygun's getting to elevate themselves, or perhaps they thought it would just be a funny thing to post without really understanding that that's a real person. Not everyone, but so many people's goals are to increase their exposure and increase their followers, because in general, it does help your career. But so many of us are heading towards this goal of having all these people watch us, even though if we do get to that goal, we would realize that it also comes with a lot of downsides as well. If you get enough followers that love what you do, you'll always get some haters as well. And as you get more followers, those haters start to grow almost proportionately, and what you do or what you post will start to be put under a microscope. And saying anything opinionated is like walking through a minefield. This, of course, comes with a lot of problems. Mental health challenges being probably one of the biggest. Why do you think so many social media influencers break down at a point or quit after a while? Why is it that so many celebrities have therapists? Because being at the top, that goal of being well-known or famous comes with consequences, because we're not meant to have that many people interact with us or follow us, especially all at once. Yet this is the goal that so many of us are striving towards. I used to think that this isn't fair, this isn't right. I want to tell everybody and try to convince them that they need to be nicer to each other. But when I think about it, this has been happening forever, even before social media. Anybody that got enough attention is going to have to deal with negative attention. It's just that with social media, this has really increased that amount of attention for just about everybody. And there's almost no breaks. Even when you put your phone down, everybody else still has their phones and can still be talking about you. But on the other hand, I have quite a few people following me, and it definitely comes with a lot of perks, a lot of highs in my life. But maybe with a lot of highs, there's naturally going to be a lot of lows. Perhaps it's almost like a yin and yang kind of situation, a natural balance of life. The higher the highs, the lower the lows, and that's just the nature of things. That's kind of like what it's like to be an artist working in entertainment as well. I've been fortunate enough to work on movies like Alice in Wonderland or the Super Mario Brothers movie, and when they debuted at #1 in the entire world. I've been lucky enough to win an Emmy for co-creating my own TV show. That was a big high. But I've also been in situations where I've worked on projects for years and they never came out, which was completely heart-wrenching. I've had friends directing a movie for years only for it to be canceled. I've had friends create a hit TV show or movie and then being let go the next week. I've also had friends design characters that were widely disliked or even hated. I think about the person that designed the first design of Sonic the Hedgehog for the movie and how that must have felt. But I think the worst is being famous without the resources to deal with it. I saw the video Raygun put out where she talked about the accusations surrounding her qualifying for the Olympics and asked the press to please stop harassing her family. At least if you're a successful and rich movie star or celebrity, you'll probably have the resources to have somebody else go get the groceries or live in a gated community to protect you from the onslaught of hecklers and trolls, or having the ability to be able to just take a vacation for a while and get away. But I've also seen posts from Olympians where they say that they couldn't even pay rent, let alone have a vacation for a while. They can't really escape. They just have to take all the attention, good or bad, and just deal with it. Personally, this still doesn't deter me from putting more content out there because, one, I'm not that well known. I could still go to the supermarket without getting recognized or things like that. And two, most of the attention I get back is quite positive. And three, by putting myself out there and sharing the lessons I've learned or teaching people art and how to paint and draw on my online school, schoolism.com, go check it out. It's helped countless people make a living for themselves and get into the entertainment art industry. But I definitely noticed the downsides and the harm that can come with success. It's made me think about how much success is enough success. Because I certainly wouldn't want Taylor Swift level success, where I couldn't go to any public places anymore without an entourage of security around me or something like that. Just something to chew on. How much success is enough success? And thinking about the things that come with it. Does Raygun deserve the level of attention and the kind of attention she's getting? Even the original Karen. I know she's probably a very toxic person, but does she deserve what she got? Where literally the use of her name has become a way of being derogatory towards others. Has social media become too toxic? Does it outweigh the amount of good that's also achieved? Let me know your comments, let me know your thoughts, and I'll catch you all next time.